Hello everyone and welcome to this first real tutorial on my YouTube channel. In this video I will show you how to make this cute little bee. You can, for example, turn this bee into a keychain, or you can attach a string to it so that it can dangle on your car mirror. You can do anything with it and it just looks really cute. So let's just get into it. What do you need? The first thing you need is black, yellow, white and pink yarn. I use yarn from the brand Scheepjes, however this is a Dutch brand and I don't believe it's easily available outside of the Netherlands. So, you know, it's just a mix of 60% cotton with 40% acrylic, and I use it with 3mm hook. But if you get something similar or 100% cotton yarn, it should look very similar. Also, you'll need eyes. The ones I use are 6mm, a crochet hook, scissors, and finally some stuffing material. So first we're going to grab our yellow yarn and we're going to make a magic circle. If you're not entirely sure how to do this, or you are curious to the technique I'm using, I've made a separate video explaining that, since I thought that it would take a little too long if I had to explain that in this video as well. So I will link that down below and you can just go there and come back to this video after you made your magic circle. Okay, so for round 1 we're gonna do the magic circle and we're gonna do 6 single crochet into the ring. Okay, so we're gonna insert our crochet hook into the circle. We're gonna grab our yarn, pull it through. Now we got 2 loops on our hook, and we're gonna yarn over, pull through the 2 loops on your hook. That's your first single crochet. You can see the little V there. We're gonna do that 5 more times so that we end up with a total of 6 single crochet. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if you're not sure how many you did, you can just count the little V's on the side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're gonna close the circle. Since this is a really small project, I'm not using a stitch marker. I prefer to just count in my head. However, if you would be using a stitch marker, you can insert it in this last single crochet. Okay, for round 2, we're gonna do 2 single crochet in each of those 6 stitches, which makes us go up from a stitch count of 6 to a stitch count of 12. So we're gonna find the first single crochet, the first stitch, and we're gonna do a single crochet. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through again. Now we're gonna go into the same stitch as the one we just did the single crochet into. So we're gonna go back in, grab the yarn, pull it through, and grab it and pull it through the 2 loops on our hook. So now we're gonna do that 5 more times until you have a stitch count of 12. So let's just continue the round. And 12. So that was round 2. Don't be afraid to just pause the video if it's going a little too fast, or to skip parts if you already know how to do certain things. Okay, so that was round 2, and now we're gonna go to round 3. For round 3, we're gonna do 1 single crochet in the first stitch and 2 single crochet in the second stitch. And we're gonna do that a total of 6 times, which will make us go up to a stitch count of 12 to 18. So first 1 single crochet in the first stitch, 2 single crochet into the second, 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 2 single crochet into the second. Okay, repeat that 4 more times and I'll see you when the round is done. Okay, so I'm at the end of round 3, and for round 4 we're just gonna do 18 single crochet into each of those 18 stitches that we got in this round. So the stitch count won't change, just 18 single crochet. However, at the end of the row we're gonna do the color switching to black. So I will meet you at the last stitch of round 4. Okay, so I've arrived at the last stitch of round 4, and as I said, for this stitch we're gonna change to the black color, so we're gonna grab our black yarn now as well. And for the last stitch we're gonna just start it off as usual, so insert your hook into the last stitch, grab the yellow yarn. However, now instead of finishing it, we're gonna grab the black yarn and we're gonna pull that through these 2 loops. So hold it like this and pull it through. Okay, make sure the stitch is tightened by pulling the yellow yarn. And now we're gonna switch to holding the black yarn, since round 5 will be a round of just 18 single crochet. However, we're gonna do it in the black color. So I'll meet you at the end of this round. Okay, last single crochet of round 5. Now, to make the color switching part look a bit nicer, I prefer to do the color switching in the first stitch of row 6. Okay, so we've now done a full row of black single crochet. We're gonna go into the first black stitch that we did. Gonna grab our black yarn, and now we still got our yellow yarn attached to the work, and we're gonna grab the yellow yarn like this. We're gonna pull it through the 2 black loops on our hook. Okay, pull the black string to make it tighter. And now we've just done the color switching part. As for round 6 and 7, we're gonna do that in yellow, and those rounds will just be 1 single crochet in each of those 18 stitches. So I'll meet you at the end of round 7. Okay, for the end of round 7, I have not finished the round yet. I still got 1 more stitch to do. However, because I would like the color switching part to line up for this one and this one, I would like to do the color switching again, the stitch before the round is actually finished. So as you can see here, we did the color switching part on that stitch. So that means that if we want to have the color switching part here, we're gonna have to switch to black again, 1 before that. So we just start our single crochet as usual, like this. And then we're gonna pull through the black yarn instead of the yellow yarn. Okay, pull the yellow yarn tightly. And now, as you can see, if we're gonna do our first single crochet here, it's gonna line up. Okay, you don't have to do this, I just think it looks a bit more neatly. Okay, as for round 8, we're again gonna do a full round of single crochet, 18 single crochet, but now in the black yarn. So I'll see you at the end of the round when we're again gonna do the color switching part. Okay, so I've just finished round 8, and again, to do the color switching part, we're gonna go into the first single crochet of the next round, like the first black stitch. Start it as usual, but pull through the yellow yarn instead of the black yarn. Okay, tighten the stitch. And again, we're gonna do 1 round of single crochet, 18 single crochet in yellow. So I'll meet you at the end of row 9. Okay, now I'm gonna do the last single crochet of round 9, like this. And now we can cut off the black yarn. Leave a little end, like this. Okay, we're not gonna use that anymore. Now we're gonna make the little face, and for that we're gonna grab the eyes and we're gonna insert that between row 2 and 3. And what I like to do is to keep this on top, so somewhere around in the middle of 2 and 3, somewhere around here. Like that. I'm gonna do that on the other side as well. So between row 2 and 3 on the other side. So here is our little face. Now we're gonna add the pink cheeks, and for that we're gonna grab the pink yarn and cut off about 10 centimeters. Like, it doesn't need to be exact, just some length, around 10 centimeters, like so. Then we're gonna grab the B again, and we're gonna insert our hook inside the bottom of our work, and we're gonna come out at just the stitch just below the eye, so here. Okay, we're gonna grab one of the 2 pink strings. So we're gonna pull one end through that hole so that it looks like this. Now we're gonna go into the stitch just to the right of this stitch under the eye, so that's here. We're gonna grab the yarn again and pull it through this stitch. So that's our first little cheek. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So just go into the stitch that's just underneath the eye, pull through pink yarn from one end, then go to the left of that hole under the eye. So that would be this stitch, for example. Okay, so here's our little face with the little cheeks. Now to secure this, we're gonna do our work inside out, like this. And we're gonna make a double knot into the pink cheeks. So that's one. Don't do it too tightly, because then the cheeks won't look as nicely, but also not too loose. Like, just don't give it too much strength, just a little bit. And one more, the other side as well. So 1 knot and 2, like this. Now we can attach the backs of the eyes. So just like so. So now our little face is secured. It looks a little scary from the inside, if you'd ask me, but trust me, it will look better on the outside. Now what I like to do as well is I like to tie these 2 black ends together. Like, it's not completely necessary, I believe, but it just feels a little more secure. So pull the black strings once again and make a double knot there as well. Okay, Now we can pull it back to the right side. Okay, you can just put all the yarn ends into your work. And then your little face will look something like this. As you can see, this little cheek is a little under the eye, but you can just pull it out of there with your nail. Then that looks better. For round 10, we're gonna do 1 single crochet into the first stitch and single crochet stitch 2 and 3 together. So that will make us go from a stitch count of 18 to a stitch count of 12. So let me do it with you for the first few times. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch, 1 decrease into the second and the third. How I do that is I just go under the first loop of the V. So here is your little V, and sometimes when you do a decrease you just go into them both, but since this is such a small project and it's amigurumi, it looks nicer if you just go under the first loop, keep that on your hook, and also go into the first loop of the third stitch, so that it will look like this. Now grab your yarn and pull it through these 2 loops. You can finish it by again grabbing the yarn and pulling it through the other 2 loops on your hook. So that's a invisible decrease and it will look the nicest. So that was the first one. Let's do it one more time together. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch and decrease the second and the third stitch together. Okay, we're gonna do that 4 more times and I will meet you at the end of row 10. Okay, so I'm gonna do my last decrease for round 10. And now we got 12 single crochet around. This is a perfect moment to do most of your stuffing. Like you still got some space to do it in for the second round as well, but it's most practical to do most of it right now. So let's stuff little bee. So something like this looks okay for now, so that it reaches the top, but you can still crochet around. Okay, so for row 11, which will be the last row of our work of the bee body, we're gonna do 6 decreases. So that will make us go from a stitch count of 12 to a stitch count of 6. So for the first one, grab the first loop, the first stitch, first loop of the second stitch, pull through and pull through again. So we're going to do that 5 more times and I'll see you at the end of row 11. I'm doing the last decrease of this round. And now we got 6 single crochet around, and to finish off the work, we're first going to do a slip stitch into the next stitch like this, and we're gonna cut off the yarn and we can pull it through. Now is the moment that you can do your last stuffing. So I would like to do a little more. I always like to stuff my projects firmly. So because there is such a small hole left, I don't like to do this with my crochet hook. So I'm grabbing my scissors and I'm just going to do some more stuffing. Okay, once you're happy with the way it feels, you can start closing it up. The way I do that, I've got a very specific way because I found that it looks the nicest. And you can copy me or just do your own thing. But what I do is, here we did the slip stitch, and this is the stitch after the slip stitch. And then the stitch to the left of it, we're going to insert our hook there. And we let it come out of the stitch right next to it. Now we're going to grab the yarn and pull it through. We're going to do that one more time. So this is the next stitch, and the stitch left to that one. Going to insert our hook, let it go out of that stitch and pull it through again. Now you're going to pull it tightly, and what you're going to do now is to make the final little knot. So we go with our crochet hook into this hole here and into the second one right next to it. Gonna grab the yarn, pull it through, and don't pull it through entirely, just partly, because now we can not pull the string that pulls this one, but the other one, to make it really secure and tight. So that's just flat basically. Now we can go into the loop and grab the end and pull it through. So I've just found that this looks the best. So I'm just showing you how I'm always doing it. Now hide the yarn end in the body, just go somewhere through the body and pull it through there, and you can cut it off. So that's our little bee body. Now we're gonna make the little wings. For the wings, we're gonna grab our white yarn, and again we're gonna make a magic circle. And for round 1, we're gonna do 6 single crochets into the magic circle. So let's just do this together. 1, 2, 6. Close it up. Like that. And now round 2, which is our final round already, is gonna consist of 6 increases. So that will make us go from a stitch count of 6 to a stitch count of 12. So insert your hook into the first single crochet, do a single crochet, go back into the same stitch and do 1 more. Okay, we're gonna do that 5 more times, and I'll meet you at the end. Don't finish off yet, because it's gonna be a little different. And 12. So I'm at the end of round 2, and I've got 12 single crochet around. Just to make this wing look a little more round, what I always tend to do is just do 1 more single crochet into the next stitch. Like, it doesn't make that big of a difference, but I feel like it just looks a little rounder. So do that as well, and then do a slip stitch into the next stitch like this, and you can finish off. Cut it about some length, like not too long, but you do need some length to it. So that's 1 wing right there. We're gonna make a second one. So just do a magic circle with 6 single crochet, and for round 2, do 6 increases, 1 more single crochet and a slip stitch, finish off, and then I will meet you when the second wing is finished as well. So I've just finished the second wing, and we can grab our body again as well. First, what I like to do with the wings is to make a double knot, which will end up in the middle of these 2 strings. So we're gonna do one knot like that. Just make it go naturally into the middle part of that, and do a second one. Okay, really make sure that it's not at the end here or entirely in the middle there, just in the middle of those 2 points. Do that one more time. The reason I do that is because it will look the nicest when it's on the body. Like if it's totally at the end here, it will be very loose, and if it's in the middle, then the wings will be too close to each other. So like that. So now let's see on the body where we're gonna insert the wings. We're gonna do it between row 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Between row 6 and 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So in between here. And we're gonna see where the middle is. So the middle for me is at the color switching part because I adjusted the eyes to that. So we're gonna go to the middle of row 6 and 7, that's this stitch, and just the one to the left of the middle and the one to the right of the middle is where we're gonna insert the wings. So here's gonna come our left wing, and here's gonna be our right wing. So you can just insert your crochet hook randomly somewhere in the body and go to this stitch, for example. So that's the right one, like this is the middle. This is the one just to the right of it. We're gonna grab our wing and pull it through so that it's on the body. You can pull it through entirely and just pull it secure. Now go into the same stitch as where you got the 2 strings coming out of, and go to the stitch left to the middle part here. Now grab your wing and pull it through this stitch as well. Keep these separate because we're going to pull them together. So pull this end, pull this one. Now we're gonna tie them up together, and make sure you do this really tightly because otherwise your wing is gonna go a little loose like this. You don't want that. So really grab them firmly, make one knot, give a lot of strength to it, like you can't pull it too tightly actually, like that, and do that one more time, like that, and then you can cut it off, and you can hide the little ends in the body by pulling it down with your scissors. Okay, so here is our little bee with its little wings, and yeah, I hope you liked the result. I hope you found this video helpful. You can make a whole bunch of them, whatever you want. If you got any questions, just ask it down below in the comments. And if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more tutorials, please subscribe to the channel. And hopefully I'll see you in the next video. See you!